Hello friends, myself Shriram Korde. We have seen how do we use 2D arrays, and as part of that we have also used pointers. Now when it comes to usage of pointers, I have provided you with a simpler syntax so that we don't need to worry too much about stars and then how do you basically go ahead with calculations. Why? Because basically I have provided you with a very simple syntax, and that way you can pass the 2D array and then you can use it as a subscripted variable. That means it's like just any other access of 2D array. Or even if you basically provide a uh, integer pointer, then basically we have used a pointer to an array, and using that we have basically printed the array. And that code what we have done earlier, I am just showing it to you. This was the code that basically we have done, and it was part of our earlier videos. So now I have used the same code, and the basic thing is that now we would not like to use this, but basically I just wanted to show you how can I print the array using the mechanism where we know that ARR, essentially when you say ARR, that means it's the starting address or the base address of the array. So using that itself, why don't I print the array? So the way in which it can be printed is, I will just do those small corrections and then I will explain to you. So here you will see, like, I can have star, and then I can have star of, let me just put brackets, and then here you can see what I am doing, ARR plus I am doing. Okay, this is the loop with this one, and then basically I just do the J. Okay, now what I am doing, this gives me the base address. Okay, and then when I say ARR plus 0, that means it is pointing to the 0th array. When I do ARR plus 1, then it will point to the first, this one, that means 4 5 6 array. Then it will point to 7 8 9 and then 10 11 12. Okay, so that's what I is going to control. And then when it points here to say ARR plus 0, that means ARR when I is 0. So now we need to go to 1, then we need to go to 2, and we need to go to 3. So how do I achieve that? So that I achieve using the inner loop. Okay, so that is what essentially has happened. So let me just put let me first show you the output, and then I will explain you this using a watch. Okay, so let's first do that. So here you can see the output has come, and what did I do? ARR plus I and then plus J. Okay, that is what I told you. This is what I have done. Okay, now here if I just put a breakpoint, or even if I just basically debug this essentially, then I can put a watch here. Already there is a watch. Okay, so we don't need to do anything. Here you can see, this is what I mean, ARR of 0. This is what 0. In that we want to go 0 1 2 3. Okay, so that is what basically we achieved. Okay, we did this using the inner loop, that is 0 1 2 3, that means printing 1 2 3. Then this is that first, that means index 1 array. This is 0th index array, that means ARR plus 0 essentially will, when I say star of ARR plus 0, that means here it is pointing. Why? Because it's now a two-dimensional array. Okay, so that's why I do here first ARR plus I, star of that, and then to this I add 1 0 1 2. Okay, why? It is an inner loop, and then star of that. So I am going to get first row all the output. Then similarly when I will become 1, again J will be 0 1 2 3, J will be 0 1 2. So you basically will get output as 4 5 6. Okay, then when I will be equal to 2, then once again J will be 0 1 2. So you basically will get 7 8 9. When I is equal to 3, then you once again will have J 0 1 2, and then that's the way you get 10 11 12. So if I just continue this, then so you will see this output which we have already seen, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 and 10 11 12. So that's the way typically the things will work with respect to this. So having laid out this information, then I can always have a pointer, simple pointer, I mean to say without giving anything with it, and then I can just simply say int star ptr. Okay, and then I can simply say ptr is equal to say arr. ptr is equal to arr I can do, and then using that also basically I can print. Okay, why? Because now I have done this arr essentially is basically the ptr. Okay, so if I just use this here, obviously now I will have to do the jugglery. Why? Because now I cannot say ptr, that means ptr plus I and all that, because I have to do that mathematics. So that mathematics now we will do basically, and in that process we will also learn how do you basically send an array to the another method. Okay, so I will just copy this method which we have used earlier. Okay, so we have done this coding earlier, so I'll just copy this code and I'll paste it here. Okay, and we would like to call this function say myprint3. Okay, so let me change the name of the function myprint3, and here basically what we should be doing is, so let me just copy this here, and then obviously I need to change this void myprint3. Obviously here now you don't have this all these things, so here it will be simple p. Okay, so that is what we will do. Right, so we have this integer p. Now I want to basically use this. So here what is this? So this we know this is row, so I'll just put it here row, and this is column. Okay, so I'm just making it clear so that there is no confusion. So let me just make it here r, and let me just make it here c. Okay, now we just want to basically do that. So now what I can do is, I don't require all this, so I will now simply use int star p. Okay, I can simply use int star p, and now basically I will not be interested in printing the things here, because as I told you, here we anyway have done with respect to arr. Okay, so that we know, so let me not change this, so I will keep it like this. And after this, so here let me just put a printf, and here I will say printing in main. Okay, why? Because that is what we are doing. Okay, so we are just printing in main here. Now after this I am going to call this function myprint. Okay, so here we will call this function, call the function, so we call this function myprint, and then we will basically send the arr, and then obviously we need to send a number of rows. So number of rows are 4 and 3. Okay, so we are just making a function call from here, and now we will basically use this myprint3 to print it. Okay, so here you will see row and column. Now we obviously have ij and we want to print it. Okay, so this is now here it will be r, and this will be I plus plus, and then here it will be c. Okay, now comes the very interesting thing. Okay, here we are going to anyway do the printing. Okay, so that's not an issue. So the important thing now is we are going to use p. So how do I do that? So we are going to obviously print the value. Now p contains the base address. Okay, so what I do now, p contains the base address, and to that now I am going to do multiplication. What? So I am going to basically add what? So I am basically going to do I into C, and I will explain you this what I am doing. Okay, and then J. Okay, so that is what we will do, and then we have this printf. Okay, so let me first print this, and then I will explain you what I have done this. Okay, and then I will explain you with the slide that I have explained to you earlier. Okay, so let me first check whether I have sent the things properly. Yeah, so here we have sent arr 4 3, and then there are 4 rows and 3 columns. So I hope this is correct. Okay, so let me first run this code. Yeah, so you can see this printing in main, and then it has printed the second one. So here I can just simply say printf print using function call. Okay. So I'm just giving that message so that we know what we are doing. Okay. Right. So you can see this first thing is was printing in main. So you got all this, so that we anyway have done earlier, and then we have done print using this function which was my print 3. Okay. So now let's understand this what I have done. Okay. So that is very important. So what I have done is I will explain to you the way in which I have explained to you in the slide. So let me just open that slide. I hope I have that slide with me. Okay, and now you can see this. So let us say this is a 3 by 3 matrix. So I basically have provided with the starting address. Now what I want to do is from this starting address, I first want to print this. That is 0th element, first element, second element, whatever. Okay, depending on the number of columns in that. So here there are 3 columns as per our code. So here we first print that, and now what you do is you need to have this pointer here. This is where I am pointing currently. Okay, so let me just draw probably with some different color here. Okay, so let me pull out, let's say this color. Okay, thickness is okay. So let us say here, this is that portion I want after this. So first it will be here, then the pointer should go here, and then the pointer should go here. That means it should print all this, then it should be here, and then from here it should print this. Okay, same thing here, same thing here. Okay, so how do I achieve that? So the way in which I achieve that is basically, this is P. Now P anyway knows the base address. Now what you do, I, that means I will be 0, and then column obviously 0 into anything. That means you simply, here anyway this is the base address, so you simply add J. So what will happen if you add J? So as per our slide, what will happen? The first thing it will print this. That means this will get printed, this will get printed. There are 3 entries. Okay, so three entries will get printed. Okay. Now why is it like that? Because I just told you here first time see this I is 0. Then after that it will print 0, 1, 2, 3. That I just marked it in that cross. Now I will become 1. So what will happen? Number of columns are 3. So this will be 1 into 3. So now P will get added, and P will move to this particular thing which I just told you. So that means the P will now be moving here, and then once again J will be 0, 1, 2. So that means this and this will be printed. Then once again I will be 2. So then once again all these 3 things will get printed. This. Then J will be 2, then it will basically print, sorry, J will be 3, and then it will once again print all this, sorry, I will be 3 here, so this is I is 3, this is I is 2, this is I is 1, and here I is 0. And then obviously J becomes 1, 2, 3. J becomes 1, 2, 3, so this is 0, this is 1, this is 2, like 0, 1, 2, that is the J, and 3 is obviously the limit. Okay, that means it is 0, 1, 2. So let's go to code once again, and you can now see this. So this is base address. So this is very difficult, and that's why I have taken this later, and I didn't start teaching this to you earlier. The reason is because, and that's why this is the simpler, and many people are comfortable using this simple syntax. They can simply access it using a subscripted variable. Similarly here, the way in which we have printed in main itself, simply we just use PA and then we did IJ. Okay, so that's the difference. And here when we used this myprint, either we use this basically array of basically integers. Okay, so that is what we did, which points to 3 integers. So that is what I told you. So this is again simple syntax. Okay, but this becomes a very complicated syntax for many people to learn. But however, I have covered it as part of little advanced thing that probably you can think of. But that's the way things work with respect to pointers when we talk about 2D array. I hope you like this. It is little complicated, but I hope you are able to understand when you visualize it with the slide that I have shown you. Thank you.